Hey folks, welcome back. We're here for you again and bringing the coolest vibes of NBA for you all. The 2020 postseason's unprecedented structure hurt the Bucks, who didn't have home court advantage and never looked quite like themselves inside the Orlando bubble. But how does this stunner compare to others throughout NBA history? To answer this historical question, let's take some time to remember the largest upsets that have already happened. In addition to Heat over Bucks, here are the most unlikely upsets since the NBA playoff bracket expanded. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at the top 10 biggest upsets in recent NBA history. So, let's begin. But before we proceed further, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any future NBA content. Number 10. Celtics upset Magic, 2010. Like the Cleveland team they had defeated the previous postseason, the Magic had swept through the first two rounds of the playoffs. Like the Cleveland team, however, the Magic ran into a roadblock in the conference finals. The Celtics had done the hard work of defeating LeBron's top-seeded Cavs in 2010, and they rolled over the Magic too, winning the first 3 games of the series before finishing them off in 6. Pierce, 45%, Rasheed Wallace, 43%, and Ray Allen, 42%, all tormented the Magic's Howard-centric defense from three-point range. Number 9. Rockets upset Lakers, 1986. The Lakers reached the finals in 82, 83, 84, 85, 87, 88, and 89. What happened in 86? Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson happened. Despite 20-plus points per game from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson and James Worthy, the Rockets rebounded from a Game 1 loss to win the next 4. As the 23-year-old Olajuwon proved too quick for the 39-year-old Abdul-Jabbar, the Rockets center scored 40 points in Game 3, 35 in Game 4, and 30 in Game 5 before he was ejected for brawling with Lakers reserve Mitch Kupchak. So was Sampson before injuries struck. With Olajuwon out for the closing stretch of Game 5, the Rockets drew up their final play for their other super-talented 7-footer. Sampson compiled and drained a twisting buzzer beater to end the Lakers' final streak. Number 8. Lakers upset Spurs, 2004. The Lakers were the higher seed because LA had won its division with San Antonio didn't, but the Spurs had a better record and received home court advantage in the series. The Lakers and Spurs met in every postseason from 2001 through 2004, with the winner eventually making the finals. The Lakers won in 2001 and 2002, the Spurs in 2003, and the 2004 series was the closest of them all. Once again, the Spurs were a much better regular season team. 62 Pythagorean wins versus 52 for the Lakers. But once again, the Lakers completed the upset. The team split the first 4 games, each winning 2 at home, and the turning point came in an ugly Game 5, with the Spurs leading 71-70. Bryant made a jumper with 12 ticks remaining, only for Tim Duncan to respond by hitting an 18-foot fadeaway, with O'Neal draped all over him, with just 0.4 of a second left. Cue Derek Fisher. Number 7. Bulls upset Cavaliers, 1989. Everyone knows how this series ended, but the context isn't discussed nearly as much. The Cavaliers have the best Pythagorean record in the NBA, and in 1988-89 had won all 6 regular season games against the Bulls. They should have cruised into a win in this first-round series. Michael Jordan had other ideas. He had already eliminated the Cavs in 5 games in the 1988 postseason, scoring 50 and 55 points in the first 2 wins, and his game-by-game scoring log in the 1989 series shows the blend of volume and efficiency that characterized his whole career. The Bulls took games 1 and 3, the Cavs took game 2 and 4, and in the decisive contest in Cleveland, with the home team up by 1 point after a Craig Alo layup with 3 seconds left, Jordan took an inbounds pass, dribbled past Alo, and rose for one of the most iconic shots in league history. Number 6. Nuggets upset Supersonics, 1994. There was no reason at all to expect Denver to beat Seattle in the 1994 playoffs. Not at any point in the regular season when Seattle was the best team in the NBA. 63 actual wins and 64 Pythagorean wins, with Jordan retired. Not when their 1-versus-8 series began, giving that number 8 seed had ever upset a number 1 before, and certainly not when the series shifted to Denver after 2 games, both Seattle victories by double-digit margins. But the Nuggets came back in a true team effort. In Game 3, Reggie Williams scored 31 points, and in Game 4, which went to overtime, LaFonso Ellis posted a 27-point, 17-rebound double-double. In Game 5, also an overtime thriller, Bill Sandeli contributed 17 points and 19 rebounds, while Dikembe Mutombo added 8 points, 15 rebounds and 8 blocks. Most importantly, the Nuggets defense clamped down on the Sonic Stars, holding one of the league's top offenses to under 100 points in every contest after Game 1. In the 2 overtime periods in the series, the Sonics scored a combined 9 points. Fittingly, their last shot of Game 5 missed, allowing Mutombo to secure the rebound and roll on the floor sobbing, with great tears of joy. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover 5 more upset games with you all. Hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any future NBA content. Number 5. Hawks upset Magic, 2011. The Magic were the East's number 4 seed in 2011, the Hawks number 5, but the two teams looked much further apart under the surface. Orlando's Pythagorean record was 56-26, Atlanta's was 39-43. Yet in Game 1, despite 46 points and 19 rebounds from Howard, the Hawks eked out a win and set the tone for the rest of the series. Despite Howard's singular dominance, the Hawks' depth proved crucial. Orlando's role players couldn't buy a bucket as the team shot 26% on 3-pointers for the series, and Atlanta won all 3 home games by narrow margins. Game 3 by 4 points, Game 4 by 3 points, and Game 6 by 3 points. 1 year after losing in a notable upset to the Celtics, the Magic lost another and haven't won a single playoff series since. Number 4. Rockets upset Jazz, 1995. Let's have a look at the upset from the 94-95 Rockets on this list. Their 4th upset over the Suns in the second round came with a 32.3% chance. The Jazz tied with the Supersonic for the best Pythagorean record in the league. More on those Sonics soon, but like every other team that faced the Rockets that postseason, they never figured out how to slow Olajuwon. The Rockets center scored 35 points per game in the series, including 33 in Game 5, and teamed with Clyde Drexler, 25 per game, 31 in Game 5, to propel the defending champs to the next round. Malone, 30 points per game in the series, and Stockton, a game-winning layup with 2.4 seconds left in Game 1, tried their best, but as always, fell just short in the playoffs. Number 3. Cavaliers upset Raptors, 2018. The 2017-18 Cavaliers were not a good team. By point differential, they're the worst finals team since the playoff field expanded to 16 teams. They weren't much better in 3 out of 4 playoff rounds. The Raptors were easily the best regular season team in the East that season, with 59 actual wins and 60 Pythagorean wins, but they just couldn't stop LeBron or the shooters surrounding him in Game 1. They squandered a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter before losing by 1 in overtime. In Game 3, they lost on a James buzzer beater off the glass. They didn't just lose a series, they had a 90% chance to win. They were swept, including a 35-point laugher in the final. At least the postscript worked out better for Toronto. James left for the Western Conference after the season, and the Raptors' continued playoff failures led Ujiri to break up his core, trading DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard that summer. The exchange worked out fairly well. Number 2. Lakers upset Supersonics, 1995. The Sonics' first-round loss the previous season was more memorable, but the 1995 defeat in the 4-versus-5 matchup was just as improbable. Seattle tied for the league's best Pythagorean record that season at 61-21, while the Lakers checked in at 40-42. But after Seattle won Game 1 in a 25-point blowout, the Lakers stole 3 consecutive contests by a combined 10 points. Nick Van Exel led the way with 25 points in 46 minutes per game, and Vlade Divac and Cedric Ceballos, Anthony Peeler and Eldon Campbell chipped in double digits as well. The biggest punch for Seattle came in Game 2, when a 110 points per game offense ground to a halt and scored just 11 points in the fourth quarter. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton and Detlef Schrempf, all All-Stars that season, combined to shoot 0 for 7 in the quarter. Number 1. Warriors upset Mavericks, 2007. Led by MVP Dirk Nowitzki and coming off a finals trip in 2006, the Mavericks won 67 games in 2006-07. And though they outperformed their peripherals by a bit, they were still 61-21 by point differential, the second best mark in the league. The We Believe Warriors, meanwhile, were outsourced in the regular season, and unlike with the Supersonics' losses in the mid-90s, Dallas had 7 games to exert its theoretical advantage. Except the Mavericks didn't have an advantage over those particular Warriors. Golden State won all 3 regular season matchups and used an unorthodox lineup that troubled Dallas in every meeting. It relied on a big physical point guard in Baron Davis to frustrate the Mavs' defensive scheme, and used wings like Steven Jackson. Not traditional bigs to guard Nowitzki in the playoffs, the Warriors took Game 1 by 12 points. Then lost Game 2 after Davis and Jackson were ejected for 2 technical fouls apiece. Dallas became the first team since the 1972-73 Celtics to win at least 65 regular season games and not win a title. Golden State spawned a slogan and an eminently memorable upset. Given all the surrounding context, it might have the number 1 upset in modern playoff history by pure emotion and feel. It fits that the numbers agree and give the 2006-07 Warriors their rightful upset crown. So what do you guys think? Which upset is the biggest according to you all? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and please give us a thumbs up if you've liked it, and do hit that subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.